Welcome back to another episode of the Casey Campbell Podcast. Casey Campbell with you, of course. Pleased to be joined by Brent Sherman. Of course, we'll be driving in the Chicago Street Course race for RSS Racing coming up 4th of July weekend. Brent, how are you? And why do this?
Well, I've been wanting to race actually since I stopped racing. It's in my blood, and I've always, wanted to race. I just never kind of ran out of opportunities and sponsorship. This came about. I actually had tickets to the race and was going to be watching in the stands. And somehow, some way, I was able to get a hold of RSS Racing through Facebook, and timing's everything. And Kyle Sieg said he was going to take a step out of the car for the street courses and road courses, and I said, well, sign me up. I'm ready to go.
Yeah. So running on you've gotten to do a lot of things throughout your career, but a street course race what's that going to be like, you think?
It's going to be, I feel like it's going to be, it's the best opportunity for me to get back in the car. NASCAR doesn't just give licenses away. They had to look at my past career, and I've run a ton of street courses. I ran the Detroit Grand Prix in in Barber Dodge Pro Series. I've run in the streets of Grand Rapids, Michigan. So I have some street course experience, whereas a lot of these guys don't. And I think that played into how I was able to get my license back. They approved me just for the street courses in the Xfinity Series and the Truck Series. So, if I do well, maybe they'll further my license a bit to ovals. But right now, I'm just focused on this race.
Yeah. So you've been out for quite a while. What have you been doing?
I've been raising my two kids. I have a 15-year-old daughter, Madison, and a 17-year-old son, Cooper. Being a dad, and I started a small laundry delivery business. So I have a laundromat that I'm trying to grow, and just living life, trying to make it, in anything I do, really. I'm just trying to stay focused in life, really. I mean, it's been a long time. It's not because I haven't wanted to race. It's just, you get older, you have other responsibilities you have to tend to. And, I'd still love to be running full time, but it just didn't work out. A lot of it revolves around sponsors, and you lose a sponsor, and you try to find another one, and it's just a difficult situation. So fortunately, I had all the pieces fell in place for this race, and you never know. We'll see how it goes. I'm optimistic that we can do pretty well. I have the confidence. I've been training. I've stayed in shape, luckily, over the years, and I still feel young, even though the years are, piling on. I started racing probably older than probably most of the kids I'm going to be racing against in this race. So, but I have experience, luckily, on the road courses and street courses, and never know, maybe it'll rain. I've experience in running in the rain, and whereas a lot of these guys probably don't. So you never know what could happen. But yeah, I just stay confident and stay focused on training. And I'm going to be doing some sim stuff with the local company here. I've never raced in a sim. I've never done sim racing. So they have the Chicago track on their sim. So that'll definitely help. And I know one of my sponsors, Hawk Auto, my primary sponsor, hawkauto.com. He's a member. John Crane is a member at the Autobahn here in Joliet. So I'm going to have an opportunity to run a Ford Mustang over there, get some laps over there. NASCAR doesn't really allow for testing, so it's kind of difficult to get prepared in what I'm going to be driving. But I feel like I'll adapt. I've driven many different race cars over my career, and hopefully it's like riding a bike.
Yeah. What made you start this laundromat business?
I just felt like I needed to focus on, my kids and my family. And I didn't really, it was kind of hard to switch careers after you've raced and been in the Air Force, where it doesn't really translate into, a 9 to 5 job. So I really wanted to own my own business. So I bought a small building, commercial building. And, I just did some research and found that it was probably something that I could do. And I'm actually a delivery driver. I'm going to go deliver laundry. So I'm still driving every day, just not as fast as I'd like to be. But yeah, so I'm focusing on pickup and delivery, and it's just I don't know. I feel like running a business isn't as difficult as people think. It's more, being a people person, trying to find the right employees, and just like anything else, I just put 100% into it, and I haven't owned it very long, but yeah, I don't. It was just an opportunity that was close to my house, and I did the research, and it just kind of fell into place.
Yeah. Of course, not many racers today are, come from where you did. Of course, from coming from Minnesota, what was that like to as your career kind of went on? What was that like to come from there?
So yeah, Minnesota. I lived in Minnesota for about 8 years, and then New York for about 8 years, and then I ended up in Chicago going into high school. And I've lived here the whole time. We did own our own team in Charlotte or in Mooresville, but I always kept my roots here. I always lived here, even when I was racing full time. It was easy kind of to get in and out of racetracks from Chicago. You can fly anywhere from Chicago. So I thought about moving to Charlotte, and it just never transpired. So I've always had my roots here in the Chicagoland area, and I'm just happy that they're coming to town, and it made me kind of really try to start focusing on getting a seat for the race. And I didn't think it was going to be possible, but everything fell into place the way it needed to, and now I'm going to be racing here in a couple weeks.
Yeah. So what's it going to be like racing on the, probably in the streets of Chicago, probably places that, places you've driven in a streetcar before. What's that going to be like to race around Grant Park and all that?
Yeah, it's going to be amazing. Really. I really can't believe that NASCAR was able to pull this off. I mean, Lakeshore Drive is a pretty big deal here in Chicago. A lot of traffic there, and to close that down and allow us to race there is pretty amazing. Obviously I'm going to have family and friends in town here that are going to be able to watch me race, where a lot of them have not been able to for, obviously a long time. Yeah, it's pretty exciting. I think it's exciting for, there's some people that may not be too pleased with all the road closures and, closing the city down for a couple days. But I think after they see the event and what NASCAR has done, I think they're going to be pleased with the outcome. I feel like it's with all the concerts involved, and I think it's just going to be. I've been around racing a long time, but a lot of these people have not, so they don't know what to expect. And I think that once they see it and how fun it is and the energy that it creates, I think it's hopefully going to be around for a long time.
All right. Well, Brent Sherman, thank you so much for coming on and talking with us, and best of luck at the Chicago Street Course in a few weeks.
All right. Appreciate it. Thanks for having me, buddy.